Hey, hello everyone, good evening. Can you confirm audible or not?
Audible, sir.
Yeah. So where we stopped in the last session? The last session, what we discussed? Just we executed one simple Python program and we discussed about the flow, right? We discussed about the flow. So if you want to write one simple hello world program, what kind of setup is required in your local missions? First thing is like in your mission, Python should install. Python software should install. So how we can check? For example, you have a new mission. Okay, some others mission you are using. How we can check the Python is there or not there? Very simple. You can open the command prompt. Okay, just type you can py command. Whenever if you type py, you can see the Python version if it is installed. If it is not installed, you can get an error like, can anyone guess? Py is not found as an internal or external command like this. This kind of error you can get it when if the Python not installed. In your machine, if Python is installed, then the time you can see your Python version, which version you installed, that particular version you can see. Got my point? Okay. Now once Python installed, the next step is what? If you want to write one program, editor is required. That is important, right? So you can decide the editor. There is multiple editors are there in the market. I preferred like one of the open source editor, VS Code. After that, we are going to introduce Python. Okay, first I want to go with Visual Studio Code. Individual programs I want to run. For that, I'm going to use like VS Code is the editor. Okay, hope all installed this software, VS Code software as well as Python software. If you not install, okay, just let me know. Okay, I'll provide you the link. If you're able to install, you can install it, no problem at all. If you're stuck with something, just let me know. So once you ready with the editor, you can write your first program. How we can write the program? You can create one file whose extension is like py. Inside this one you can write one statement, only one statement only I written, right? Okay, you don't know about this statement, what is print and everything, we'll discuss later. Okay, print to hello world. Yes or no? Now how we can run this program? How we can run this program? By using which command we can run? Yesterday we discussed it, right? Which command? You can unmute and talk, feel free to talk. By using which command you want me to run? Py, this is the Python command. Which file you want me to run? Hello.py. Like this you can run it. Whenever you run this one, if you don't have any compile time errors, what is compile time error? That is separate discussion in the exception handling, we'll see. Now you can see the output is like hello world. Yes or no? Yesterday we just completed one hello world program or not? Okay, let me open our Visual Studio Code editor. Like this is my editor. I used this editor, okay, for Python as well as UI related stuff, also React, something like that. Let me open our workspace folder. I already created yesterday our workspace folder, right? If you already opened recently, you can see in the open recent one option is there. You can go there. Now see in the third item, your workspace only or not. Now you can open that. Now yesterday we created one.py, one file we created or not. Let me delete those. Okay, I don't want. Okay, just I want to run it again. I remove everything from my workspace. Okay, let's do it now. First, what you have to do? Come on. First, what you have to do? Create one file. Any name you can give, but based on your requirement, proper name you can give. Naming convention is important. By seeing the name, okay, remaining people, outside people can come to know what it contains. Like that, meaningful names you have to give. Okay, hello dot, okay, py. The extension is like either py or Python. Anything is like fine. Now, the next step is what? Next step is what? You can write any number of statements. You can write any number of statements. Okay, whatever the code you written, terminology wise, that code we can say like a source code. Done. Okay, here, hello, such. Done. Now, I want to run the program. I want to see the output. I want to run that program. I want to see that output. So, which command you want me to run? Which command? Py command, Python command, any one of the command is okay. In my command prompt, I want to run it. So let me open the command prompt in the VS Code itself. How we can open? See, there has a one option is the terminal. Just click on the new terminal. Now there has one more window opened or not? There has one more window opened. See, in this particular terminal, you can open the PowerShell. Okay, you can open with bash and command prompt like this. Just I want like a command prompt. If you want the previous, okay, PowerShell and command prompt, if you want to destroy it, there has a delete, trash symbol is there. Just you can delete it. Now finally, I have command prompt. See this CMD. Now here I want to run py. What is that? Hello.py. No need to type. Just write h. Click on the tab. So matching file names you can see here. Okay, which file name you want to run? You can stop and click on enter. Now whenever you run this one, you can see this output or not. You can see this output. Done. My program run. Okay, you can see the output. Everything is okay. But my question is, internally, what is the flow? Internally, what is the flow? This is my source code. Whenever you run, I get the output is like hello world. That's okay, fine. I'm able to see it. But internally, what happened? Tell me first. Your source code converted into what? Your source code converted into what? Bytecode, right? How it is converted into bytecode? By compiling, right? By compiling your code, your source code, it is converted into bytecode. Okay, na? What is the next step? Whatever the source code you written, that is converted into bytecode. That is the first step. Okay, how it is converted? Okay, we have Python compilers over there. By using compilers, it is converted into bytecode. Next, you have the bytecode. My bytecode is not understandable by the machine to generate the output. It is not understandable by the machine to generate the output. So here what happened? This bytecode you have to convert into machine understandable instructions or not. Machine code instructions or not. You have to convert it into machine code, which can be understandable by the machine. So who can do that work? My Python interpreter. Okay. Inside this interpreter, we have one more program. It's like a Python virtual machine. Okay, this one is like a Python virtual machine. Through this interpreter, by using this interpreter, it is converted bytecode into which one? Okay, machine level code or not? Now this machine code, my machine can understand, my microprocessors can understand, and it is going to generate the output which can be understandable by the end user or not. This is my actual process. But this is like internal. But outside, just if I run this command, you can directly get the output or not. Now, first it's take the source code. It is going to compile. Whenever it is like compile, it's turned to be like what? Bytecode. It's turned to be like bytecode. Now this bytecode, my Python virtual machine is going to take it by using interpreters. It's going to convert it into mission level. Okay, mission code you can say, or mission level instructions you can say. Once it is converted into mission code, this mission code, my mission can understand to generate the output so that I can see the output or not in my mission. Agreed? Here we use it like two translators. Okay, one is like, come on, compiler. Another one is like what? Interpreter or not. One is like compiler. Another one is like interpreter. What is the difference between compiler and interpreter? Both are like programs only. Compiler always compile entire file code in a single attempt. 100 lines of code, all the 100 lines at a time it is going to convert into byte code. All the code is going to compile in a single step. But if it is comes to the interpreter, 100 lines of code is there. First line converted, second line converted, third line, fourth line, fifth line, like this, line by line it is going to convert. Line by line it is going to convert. That is the main difference between compiler and interpreter. Both are like translators only. This is like one kind of program, don't think more. If the program is like compiler, entire source code converted into byte code in a single step. Once you have the byte code, my interpreter, first line converted into machine code, second line converted into machine code. Like this, my interpreter is going to convert. Understood? These are the two translators we are going to use. Okay. Up to here, okay. Up to here, we completed yesterday or not? Any questions? Anyone? Okay, then. The next level discussion is about variables. Now, this topic is not only for Python, this topic for any programming language. Okay, so the variables, this topic, the next one is like functions. The next one is like OOPS concepts. The next one is like exception handling. Some of the concepts are like not only specific to one programming language. These are like common for all the programming languages. Those are like syntactically maybe different. There has a difference is there syntactically, but okay, the procedure and the way of handling, okay, the behavior and everything is like same. So variables concept, you can take JavaScript, Java, .NET, Python, PHP. Okay, the functionality what it is going to handle, it's like same. The syntax may be different. Functions also same kind of. OOPS concepts also same. Exception handling, multi-threading, these kind of concepts are there which are common for any programming language. Okay, same kind of behavior, same kind of functionality they are going to handle. Agreed? So if you have any knowledge on C or CPP, any other programming languages, okay, you may, okay, if you know, you may know about the variables. This is like normal concept only. Okay, now tell me why we go for variable. Okay, anyone? I said like, okay, variables. Okay, this is our concept. My first question, simple question is like, why we go for variables? Okay, when you can go with these variables? That is the question. Anyone? Very simple. In your program, okay, most of the times we are going to, not most of the times, always we are going to work with data only, right? Yes or no? We are going to work with data only or not? So the data is nothing but what it's like facts. Okay, it's like alphabets. Okay, it's like digits. It's like alphanumeric values. Okay, anything is like come under data only or not? For example, simple, I have some data. It's a kind of alphabets like this. My requirement is like this particular data for future purpose, I want to store somewhere. If you want to use in future, first of all, you have to keep somewhere or not? Yes or no? If you have an item, if you want to use in future, you have to keep that item somewhere or not? Same like that, this particular data I want to use in future. In my program, there has 100th line I want to use. Okay, there has 90th line I want to use. Like that, in future I want to use this particular value. If you want to use in future, first of all, you have to store this particular value somewhere or not? So how we can store in any programming language? This concept is like generalized. Okay, for any programming language. Okay, why we go for variables? If anybody asks the question, your answer is like very simple. Just you can say like to store the data. That's it. To store the data, okay, we can go with the variables. Got my point? This definition is like common for any programming language. But where we can differentiate, you know, how we can create a variable in Java, how we can create a variable in .NET, how we can create a variable in JavaScript, how we can create a variable in Python. That is something different. The syntax is like vary one programming language to another programming language, but the definition of why we go for variables is like common. Got my point? So if anybody asks like why we go for variables, okay, there is no other thought. Simply you can say like, okay, using variables, just we are going to store the data. That's it. Okay, you can extend something more, but whatever the definition, this one is not wrong. Got my point? So now my question is like, why we go for variables? Why we go for variables in any programming language to store some data? What is data? Data is nothing but alphabets. Okay, alphanumerics. Okay, only numeric values. Okay, there has some special characters, whatever it may be, facts. This is come under data one. So this data I want to store somewhere or not by using which concept? Variables concept or not. So my question is like how to create a variable in Python. That's it, right? How to create a variable in Python or not? Yes or no? So if you want to create a variable in Python, okay, who introduced this language? Those people provided you some syntactical rules, right? Some guidelines, right? Yes or no? Any programming language, it's not created by you. Somebody created. We are like users, that's it. Who created, who introduced that particular programming language? Those people are like what? Provided you some rules, some guidelines or not. You have to follow those guidelines or not. So my Python people also provided, okay, some guidelines to create a variable. What is the syntax, The syntax to create a variable. Okay, very simple syntax. Okay, it's like syntax wise, Python is like very user friendly syntaxes. User friendly compare with other programming languages. If you learn one programming language properly, okay, you can learn any other programming language. Just apply these particular concepts to outside, okay, remaining programming languages. Just you can find some syntactical change. That's it. Okay, now you can see simply. If you want to create a variable in Python, so how we can create a variable in Python? The syntax is what Okay, first of all, variable name. First of all, variable name. This is the syntax. The next one is like variable name. The next one is like which value you want me to store. That value you can assign by using equal symbol. That value you can assign. This is my simple syntax to create a variable in Python. Okay, variable name and a variable value. That's it. Got my point? Now I want to store Sachin. Okay, this is what? Value na name. This particular one come under this section or this section. My Sachin is like a name, it's a value. Okay, so what is the name you want me to give? Proper name you can give. My Sachin is like a player, right? So can I write player name equals to, okay, what is that? Sachin. It's like string. What is string? That is like our string data structure. There has big discussion is there on strings. Okay, there has multiple methods for that. That is separate. But for now, just focus on how to create a variable. That's it. This is the way you can create one variable or that's simple, right? Your variable name and your variable value. Okay, just I want to store, I have 10,000 rupees, just I want to store it. For future purpose, I want to store somewhere. So how we can store that? Just you can write like any name you can give, but proper name you can give. Okay, that is recommended to give like a proper name. Naming convention is important. So amount equals to what? 10,000. Like this you can give. This is like what? One variable or not? Got my point? So now you know how to create a variable. Okay, you should not stop here. Now you can elaborate. Hey, Python is like one programming language. See, one thing you have. If you get a job on Python, okay, don't think like your entire life you are going to work on Python. In your company, they get like some other new project. Okay, the client asked your company like, hey, can you work on Java? Then that time they are going to ask you, hey, can you work on that project, Java project? You should not tell like, no, I can't. Okay, you should have to say yes. Okay, that's the reason. Learn one programming language. You have to elaborate that one. Okay, apply your concepts and everything to other programming languages. One programming language, if you learn properly, even JavaScript, if you learn properly, remaining all you can easily understand. Got my point? Okay, now this concept only, simple concept only you can see. Okay, now you know how to create a variable. That's okay, fine. In Python, you know. Now our thing is like, okay, just next level you can go. Okay, Python, I can create a variable like this. Okay, if it is like a Java, how we can create a variable? That is the question. You can question yourself. Okay, if it is like a Java, how we can create a variable? Understood or not? So in Java, if you want to create a variable, now there is multiple sources over there to learn the things. Okay, now if it is like a Java, simply their syntax is like, okay, if it is like an amount, they are going to give you like the data type. Okay, and then just you are going to put like amount 10,000. That's it. This is like what? Java syntax. Okay, same like this. If it is like .NET, there is no change at all. Okay, simply, okay, this is my .NET syntax. If it is like JavaScript, just you can write like amount equals to where amount equals to 10,000. Okay, if it is like Python, okay, dollar, okay, not Python, PHP, amount equals to 10,000. See this. If you know this syntax, okay, if you know this syntax, okay, it is like all, okay, 80% is like common, right? Some extra stuff is there in Java and .NET. In Java and .NET, they provided some type for this particular variables or not. Okay, in JavaScript, there is where, let, constant, that kind of data types are there. In PHP, there is no data type, nothing. Okay, same like Python one. Like that, you have to elaborate. Don't stick with always like one programming language. Okay, you can try to learn, but comfort with one programming language first. Comfort with all the concepts, comfort with all the concepts, and then you can elaborate. Okay, and then you can go to the next level. Got my point? Okay, so let's come back to ours. Done. Okay, if you want to create a variable, you can create a variable like this. Whenever you create a variable, internally what happened? That is my question. Whenever you create a variable in any programming language, internally what happened? That is the question. You have an item. If you want to store somewhere for future purpose, first of all, storage, some space is required, right? Some space is required or not? Yes or no? Then only, right? I can keep my item in that particular area. Okay, whenever I want, I can go to that particular place, I can get it, I can use it or not. Yes or no? Here also, same. Whenever you create a variable, internally what happened? Okay, here is my variable. What is my variable name? Player name. My player name equals to such. My player name equals to such. Whenever you created a variable, to this particular variable value, they are going to allocate some memory. They are going to allocate some memory. Okay, memory is nothing but some space. That's it. Okay, if you have a space, you can keep your value in that particular location or not. Okay, if you keep one value in that particular location, whenever you want, you can go to that particular location, you can get the value, you can use it or not. Yes or no? So that whenever you create a variable in any programming language, they are going to allocate some space. Okay, the space allocation also, okay, there are different ways. I will show you, I will tell you. Now, if you come here in Python, they are going to allocate the space. In Java, allocate the space. Okay, once they allocated the space, in that particular place, okay, in that particular space, they are going to place your value. What is my value? My value is like a Sachin or not? Yes or no? My value is like a Sachin. Now tell me, somewhere, okay, there has some space is there, you kept your item there. If you know the address, then only, right, you can go and get it. Okay, that address should know or not. If you don't know that address, how we can get that particular value? So that particular address, okay, unique identity, unique address is required or not? That unique identity, what you know? Your variable name. Whenever you created or allocated a memory, that memory location name is nothing but what you know? Your variable name. That memory location name is like what? Your variable name. Okay, in this particular memory location, you can keep your value. So whenever that location address, if you know, with that address, you can go and get the value or not. Yes or no? So in any programming language, they are creating a variable is nothing but internally they are going to allocate the memory for that particular value, and that memory location is pointing with your variable name or not. Got my point? Agreed, everyone? Now I want to tell one more point here. Okay, one general statement I'm going to write here. Okay, Python is a dynamically typed programming language. Python is a dynamically typed programming language. Okay, this is my statement. Okay, this is my statement. This is the correct statement only. Yes, it is like a dynamically typed programming language only. So can you justify it? Okay, you said like Python is like a dynamically typed programming language. Okay, show me how you said it is like a dynamically typed programming language. Why not Java? Why not .NET? Why they not okay dynamically typed programming languages? That is my question. Got my point? Can you repeat? Can you okay spell out this particular statement? Python is a dynamically typed programming language. Okay, yes, that statement is like 100% correct. So my question is, you said like Python is like a dynamically typed programming language. Prove it. Python is a dynamical typed programming language. Java is not. Okay, show me why Java is not. Why you are telling like Java is not dynamically typed programming language? Why not? Okay, why .NET also? That is my question. Okay, very simple answer. See, in Java, how we can create a variable? I already told you. In Java, how you create a variable? Okay, just I want to create a variable for my amount only, for example. Okay, in Java, how we can create a variable? Data type first. Okay, data type based on your value, which value hold, that value type, based on that value type. Okay, this is my data type. Okay, the next one is what? Come on, data type. The next one. Come on, variable name.
Variable name.
The next one is like
Variable value.
variable value or not. Simple thing, right? Okay, perfect. Now in Java, what happened? You know, see, whenever you created a variable in Java in .NET, what is my data type here? As you said, integer, right? Integer, right? In Java, different data types are there. In Java, different data types are there. Okay, int is there. Okay, string is there. Okay, boolean is there. Okay, like this different data types. So byte is there, short is there, long is there. Okay, like this different data types are there in Java. So in Java, what happened? You know, based on the data type, first they are going to allocate the memory. Okay, see my statement. Based on the data type, first they are going to allocate the memory. So what is my data type here? What is my data type? Come on, spell out. Integer is my data type or not? If my data type is like integer, in Java, how much memory is going to allocate? You know, 4 bytes memory they are going to allocate for that particular variable. Understood? How much memory is going to allocate based on the data type? 4 bytes. 4 bytes. Okay, it is like unlimited memory or it's like 4 bytes. It's like restricted. It's not unlimited, right? 4 bytes memory. Okay, it's like restricted space only or not? Yes or no? It's like limited space. I mean, limited space only or not? 4 bytes memory. Now, once based on this particular data type, they allocated some memory. Okay, that is 4 bytes memory. Now tell me, that memory is nothing but that particular space. Address is what? Your variable name or not? Yes or no? That address name is like what? Address is pointing with what? Your variable name or not? Okay, now. Now, in this particular place, which value they are going to place? Which value they are going to place? Come on.
10,000.
1,000, right? 1,000 or not? Okay, they place like 1,000 or not? Yes. Okay, na? 1,000. Okay. Now my question is simple, straight question. First memory allocated and then place the value. Yes, no, in Java. In Java, memory allocated first and then it is going to place that value in the memory or not? Yes, no. Come on, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, right. In Java, first memory got allocated. Okay, first memory got allocated. Again, see. Now, your variable in Java. Okay, let's go with Java. What is my variable? Int amount equals to 1,000. Whenever you created a variable in Java like this, Based on the data type, first they allocated memory. Okay, how much memory allocated? If it is like int, how much memory? 4 bytes memory.
4 bytes.
Okay, 4 bytes memory. Yes, this memory, okay, this memory is nothing but this particular location pointing with come on, what is my address name? This
Amount.
location address is like amount or not. Perfect. In this particular space or location, you are going to keep this particular value or not? Yes or no? So first memory got allocated and then we place the value or not. Agreed everyone? And then they placed the value or not. This is the thing is happened in Java in .NET. Okay, na? Perfect. Okay, everyone. Okay, then now the memory first allocated and then placed the value. Here, where is the problem? I will show you first. I'm going to write like int my amount equals to, previous is like only 10,000, but now my amount is this much. Now my amount is like this much. Okay, na? Okay, then now tell me, come on, this is also variable or not? Yes, variable. Now what is my data type? What is my data type? Int. How much memory allocated in Java?
4 bytes.
Java, how much memory? 4 bytes only. 4 bytes only memory got allocated or not? Yes. That memory pointing with what? That memory location name is what?
Variable name.
Variable name. Perfect. In this particular memory, how much? Okay, this much big number they are going to, they're trying to place it or not? Now tell me, this space is enough to keep this number? To keep this number? Enough
No.
or
Not enough.
right? It is exceeded or not? Yes or no? So it gives me an error is like what? Integer number is like too large. Okay, so the memory allocated first and then place the value. That the reason. Okay, sometimes you may get this kind of errors or not. Yes or no? So let me show you in our editor programmatically. See, go to our editor Kalam Schools, go to Java. Okay, very simple. First int amount equals to 1000. Okay, just let me print that amount. Print that amount. Now see, my amount is like what? Okay, my amount is like 1000. Okay, na? 4 bytes memory is enough for storing 1000. Now this much big number is there. This much big number is there. Now see, can you read it? Can you read it? What happened? What happened? Integer number is too large. Integer number is too large. Okay, here we are not able to, we allocated like 4 bytes only. We allocated the memory first. Okay, you placed like a big number so that we are not able to store it. This number is like very big number or not? Okay, this is the thing is happened where? In Java. In Java, the memory allocated first and then place the value. Agreed everyone? Now come to the Python. Now come to the Python. Now in Python, what happened? You know, Python is which kind of programming language? I said Python is which kind of programming language? It is like dynamically typed programming language or not? Okay, dynamically typed programming is nothing but, dynamic is nothing but what? Okay, now come here. Now come here. If it is like in Python, whenever you create a variable, with some value, they not allocated the memory first. Why? Because here there is no data type, nothing is there. Whenever you are trying to use this particular amount, that time they are going to allocate the memory dynamically. Dynamically means how much memory is required, that much memory they are going to allocate you dynamically. So in this case, what happened? You know, if my amount is like this much big number also, no problem at all. Why no problem? Means, okay, whenever you use amount, how much memory is required, that much memory, exactly that much memory they allocated dynamically or not? They allocated dynamically or not? They not allocated first. They allocated how much required dynamically to that particular value or not? Okay, prove, show me that. So see that. Now go to the Python editor. This is our Python editor. Now how you can create the variable in Python? Come on, simple. Your variable name, your variable name and your variable value or not. If you want to print it, you can print like this. You don't know about print, we'll discuss. You can remember easily two statements, right? It's not a big deal for you. Now see this 1000 printed. Now, if I place this much big number, see this much big number. Now, if I try to print, see this, it's printed or not? It's printed or not? Yes or no? That means
Yes,
they
sir.
allocated the memory, and that memory is pointing with what? Amount or not? So the memory allocated like what? Before, first they allocated dynamically they allocated for that particular value. Dynamically they allocated how much required or not. That's the reason my Python is like which kind of programming language? My Python is like a dynamically typed programming language or not? Understood everyone? Okay, why not Java? Why not .NET? Why? Because they allocated the memory first and then they are going to place the value or not. They not allocated the memory dynamically. First they allocated the memory and then they placed the value or not in that memory. So that, okay, my Java.NET, okay, come under that section only. So that these are not dynamical type of programming languages. Python is like a dynamical type of programming language. JavaScript also same kind of, okay, dynamical type of programming language. Understood everyone? So for good. Come on. Up to okay? Any questions, anyone?
No.
Sorry? Okay, then.
All
Okay.
good. Yep.
The next one. Okay, now error messages. Error messages are very, very important. Yeah. Error messages. Okay. Well, you know, okay, my thing is like I want to focus on error messages. Why? Because if you know the error message, in future, if you see the same error somewhere in your application, you can come to know like exactly what fix is required for that particular error. That the reason focus on error messages. Okay, most of times what we are going to do is whenever you see some message in the red color, okay, we are like, okay, afraid of to read that message at least. Okay, don't think like that. Read. If you read the error message, at least you can get like a 50% solution in the error message itself. Okay, 50 to 60% solution you can get it if you read that error message properly. But what we are going to do usually is like if you get the error, then the time simply we ignore that one. We not try to read it at least. Just read it. The error messages are like very, very important. You have to read. Then that time you can get the solution from that message only. They only suggest. Okay, that's the reason error messages are like very, very important. We are also focused on error messages. Okay, why? If you know this error message and fix in future, if you get the same error message, you can directly go and fix it, right? There is no need to waste your time. Got my point? Okay, then. Now I want to introduce to you one error message. What you know? Okay, very simple error message. So kalamschools.com is our website. Okay, kalamschools.com is our website. Okay, here you can use our editors. Okay, HTML editor, JavaScript editor, React, and Python and Java, TypeScript like that. You can focus on Python. Okay, this is our editor. Now I want to tell something about our assignments also. Okay, give me 2 minutes. I'm going to explain you. Okay, assignments. First 1 month we not give you any programs. Okay, first 1 month like that. After 1 month, every day we are going to give like 3 programs to you. 3 programs every day. Okay, those programs how we are going to give you now. See in this website there is a write program is there. Write program one option. Are you able to see? Write program. Now select the technology, JavaScript or Python or Java, which program you want to write. Just click on the Python. Okay, now we are going to give like one, okay, simple program is like write a code snippet which should use if, else, okay, keywords. With these keywords, you have to write one program. Any program you can write it. These kind of programs we are going to give. Today's date is like 27. 27. So that 27 program you can get it in the Kalam schools. Same like this, we have 2 more websites. Another one is like writetest.in. I'll share you this. write test.in. Another one is like your post.in. Your post.in. Once you written the program, you can comment it. You can comment it so that remaining people can see your comments. Okay. Now come to the write test. You can log in. Okay. Now see in the write test also, you can see one program. The difference between this Kalam school and write test, what you know, Kalam schools is like a basic. Write test is like a medium. Your post is like a somewhat high level. Now here also you can select the technology, JavaScript, Python or Java. Okay, like that. Now once you selected, okay, you can see the program. You can write the program here. Okay, here is the program. Just you can write and comment it. Same like this in this write test, you can write the test, and here there is multiple technologies are there. Any technology you can select. Some of the technologies we need to add the questions. Now you can click on the submit. Okay, you can write the test here. Now see, there are some time interval. You can write the test here. Okay, like this, you can use write test. The next one is like your post. The same credentials, you can use it for login. Here, one more program, day 27. Okay, day 27. Here, you can write the program again. It's like somewhat high level. Okay, like JavaScript programs are there, Python and Java. Keep on, we are going to add. Now here, your post, you can practice here. See this. Okay, for now React only there, Python also in future we are going to add. For example, you can take one program. Okay, this is the program. So here there has 60% code I already completed. We already completed. Just you have to fill this gap. That's it. And you can see the output. Got my point? Okay, entire program not. The 50% we completed, remaining 50% you can fill it. Understood or not? Like that, we are going to use like your post. Okay, so like this, we are going to give the assignments to you. And one more thing is like on daily basis, we are going to give the running notes. Here, notes is there now. Okay, so here data science with AI. Okay, here I'm going to add you running notes. I'm going to add you the running notes. Okay, for now you have the course content here. Okay, here you can add, we are going to add the running notes. You can download the running notes on daily basis or weekly ones, your wish. The next one is like class programs also we are going to give, and you can download it. See here, this one, download the running notes. Okay, now see, once downloaded, you can see the running notes in the PDF format like this. The next one is like, you can see download the class programs. For now, we don't have any class programs. In future, okay, if you have a class programs, just I'm going to add it. You can download from here. Got my point? The next one is like, okay, editors. The next one is like programs. If you go to the Python, okay, basic programs, some of the programs are there. Okay, you can practice these programs. Okay, for each and every concept, there has some programs are there. We added some programs. Just you can go through that. Okay, if you have any questions, just you can ask. Okay, like that, Python, we have data science, we have JavaScript, React. Okay, what courses we are going to give, trainings, those all programs you can find here. Okay, the next one is like uijavagit.com. Actually, this is the website, is our own website. Okay, here you can see the Python. Okay, the notes you can find here, the notes. Okay, soft copy kind of. Okay, you can read these notes. Okay, we are going to, you can, if you find something wrong, okay, just let us know. We are going to change it. This is our own website. Okay, like this, we have multiple topics over there. Got my point? This is our overall procedure. Okay, first 1 month, okay, you have to focus on the class programs. Whatever we are going to teach, your concepts and everything you have to learn, and you have to, okay, go through this particular website and each and every concept and definitions you have to learn. After 1 month, okay, day 1 onwards, every day 3 programs you have to write. If you want to write, you can write it. If you don't want, okay, leave it. No problem at all for us. That is your wish. Okay. Any questions? Yeah, if you have any questions, just you can unmute and talk. No problem. Okay, let's come back to ours. Okay, I want to introduce one error message, right? What is that error message? You know, okay, very simple error message. without defining one member, that is variable, whatever it may be. For now, only you know variables. In future, we are going to introduce the functions, we are going to introduce the classes, like that. Okay, these three only you can see: variable, class, function. Other than that, you can't see anything. My class contains something else. Okay, so without declare a member is nothing but, in my case, either variable or a function or a class. Without declaring a variable or a function or a class, you are trying to, if you are trying to use it, then what happened? That is the question. Okay, you not declare, variable is not there, but still you are trying to print it, then that time what happened? Member is not declared. Okay, declare. Member is nothing but what I said, either variable or, come on, or a function
or a class.
or a class. Okay, any again I'm telling, any programming language you can take it, you can see like a variables, okay, functions, classes on most of the times, 99%. Okay, in Python these only we can see. Okay, not declared, but you are using, okay, you are trying to use, not declared, but you are trying to use it, then what happened? Trying to use it, then what happened? What happened? That is the question. Simple.
We are getting an error.
You are getting an error or not? Okay, which error you can get it? What is the error message? Okay, very simple. Let's go to our editor. Let's go to our editor. You can go to the Python editor. Now, whatever the code is there, just you can remove it. Now here, I created one variable. Player name is like a Sachin. You can print player name. You declared or not? You declared a variable, you printed. That's okay, fine. For example, if this particular variable is not declared, still you are trying to use it, then that time you can get one error message. What is the error message? You know, see this is the error message. Whenever you see this kind of error message in your program, simply you can understand like you are using but you are not declared. So go and declare that variable first, like that you can understand. Can you read it? What is that? Name. Okay, which name? Player name is not defined. Name, player name is not defined. That means this particular player name you are using, but it is not defined anywhere in this particular context or not, like that you can understand or not. Most of the times you can see this kind of error messages. Understood? So that in Python, any member, if you want to use a variable or a function or a class, first you have to declare it and then only you have to use it or not. Got my point? Okay, the error message. Now, if I write like amount, what is my error message? Come on, what is my error message? Amount declared or not declared? Not declared. So what is the error message? Name, amount is not defined. Whenever you see name, amount is not defined, in my mind, okay, in your mind, you have to think like, oh, amount I am using, but it is not declared. Yeah, I have to go and declare that particular variable or not, or function or not, or class or not, like that you have to understand or not. Now, this is name error. What is this name error? Yes, we have a separate discussion is about this name error. Okay, in exception handling, this is the class and everything. For now, just leave it. Just focus on the error message. This is like user-friendly name, right? Name, amount is not defined or not. Now, the next thing is like, if I write amount is equals to 10,000, is equals to 10,000. Can I click on enter? Now, yes, everyone knows this one. Now I declare, I want to declare this particular one after this print. What happened? After this print in Python, what happened? Come on, anyone? Now it gives an error. Okay, it means in Python, first you have to declare, on top you have to declare, first you have to declare, and then only you have to use it or not. Understood, everyone? Got my point? So even you are going to write 2 lines of code also, no problem at all. You can elaborate. Okay, if you do like this, what happened? Okay, if I write like this, what happened? Like this, you have to practice. Then only you can get it. Then only you can get the things. You have to do practice more. Understood or not? So if I write like this, okay, what happened? If I write like this, then what happened? Then what happened? Name error. Come on, name amount is not a defined error. You can get it or not? If I write like this, then what happened? If I write like this, then what happened?
It gives the value of amount.
This or gives the value. This one everyone knows. Okay, this is like valid or invalid? Invalid. This is like valid or invalid? Invalid. And this one is like valid or invalid? This is like a valid or not. Understood? Okay. Okay then. Today we are going to stop here. Okay. First thing from your end, what you have to do is just install softwares. If you're not installed, okay, just install the softwares, VS Code and Python. Okay. Try to run the program. Try to run one Hello World program in your VS Code editor, and try to use this particular Kalam Schools. Okay, this editor. If you find any issues while using this editor, let me know. Okay, just we created. Okay, you may face some errors. Okay, let me know. We can fix that issue. The next one is like, can you create an account in the Colab? Okay, Google Colab. Okay, let's go to the Google. Let's go to the Google. Just type Google Colab. Google Colab. Now click on the first item. Okay, collab.research.google.com. You can log in with your Gmail. Okay, just you can log in with your Gmail. Here, my Google Colab people provided you the cloud environment to run your Python programs. Cloud environment to run the Python programs. Okay, now how we can run in the cloud the Python programs and everything we'll see in the next session. For now, just you can create an account in the collab.research.google.com. Google Colab, you can type, you can get this link. Okay, these things you can do from your end. Any questions, anyone? Last call. No? Okay, thank you guys. Thanks for joining. I'll share you the video. Okay. If you have any questions, okay, just go through the video. If you have any questions, drop in our WhatsApp group. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye.